Following that day of utter chaos and destruction on Capitol Hill, U.S. President Donald Trump is for the first time recognizing that there will be a peaceful transition of power. He says U.S. President-elect Joe Biden will become the next president on January 20th. Trump's Twitter account, you may know, is currently suspended, but he has released a statement. It reads in part, "Even though I totally disagree with the outcome of the election and the facts bear me out, nevertheless, there will be an orderly transition on January 20th. While this represents the end of the greatest first term in presidential history, it's only the beginning of our fight to make America great again." Let's bring in John Micek. He is the editor-in-chief of the Pennsylvania Capital Star. So, D.C. is getting up this morning, John, and we are waiting to see if we hear from the current president of the United States after yesterday's chaos. Your thoughts?
Sure enough, Anita, and there's only one thing that was true in that statement that you just read, is that Joe Biden will be sworn in as the next president of the United States on January 20th. Everything else the president said is complete nonsense and provably false. It's important to caveat that and then double underline it. Washington is waking up this morning a traumatized city. I think the United States is waking up this morning also as a traumatized nation. We witnessed something yesterday that we've not seen since 1814, when the English set fire to the White House and sacked Washington, D.C., and that was an attack on the nation's capital. Making it even worse is that it was an attack incited by the President of the United States against his own government. A lot of people in that town have a lot to answer for today, starting with Republican members of Congress who have abetted the president's behavior for the last 4 years, the president himself, state lawmakers who objected to election results, prompting congressional members to take the actions that they did, security forces in D.C. on how those protesters were so easily able to breach the Capitol, which is a heavily fortified building, and why they were able to roam free for so long. There are questions across the board that need to be answered, and it's going to take many days, I think, to try to unravel them.
A lot of questions, John, and in the meantime, a lot of anxiety, right? As we look at these very, gotta call it, disturbing, troubling pictures. You would think it's another country, but indeed it's the U.S., and indeed it's the U.S. Capitol. Should Americans be bracing right now for more violence like this in the days and weeks and months to come?
You know, Anita, in the tagline of the president's statement, where he said the fight will go on, that is a barely coded message, in my view, to his partisans to keep up the fight. America does need to brace itself. These people planned in plain sight for days and weeks leading up to the certification of the results in D.C. yesterday. It is something that is a real threat, and it is something that we need to be prepared for.
What do you think about the politicians on the proverbial left and the right? Do you think, after seeing this, I don't think anyone could see this coming, although some folks say, yes, they did see this coming. We had strong hints of this chaos erupting, but whatever that's all about, moving forward, do you think Republicans and Democrats, and I'll say independents, can come together, unite, and move forward as the world watches this chaos?
You know, certainly the eyes of the world are going to be on the United States. And I was listening to your colleague Akshay a little while ago. You don't need to look any further than those front page headlines across the globe to realize that the world is watching us. Joe Biden, the incoming president, Kamala Harris, the incoming vice president, have their work cut out for them. The president-elect has said that he wants to try to unite the nation. When 50% of the population believes that the election was fraudulent or somehow illegitimate, that is an insanely heavy lift. I would like to think that people will dial down the rhetoric in the new administration and in the new session of Congress. That may be wishful thinking on my part, but it is something that is surely needed right now after 4 years of everything being at a slow boil.
Absolutely. All right, John Micek, editor-in-chief of the Pennsylvania Capital Star. Thank you for your time, sir, and please be safe.
Thanks, you too.